Alright everybody, we are back with what should be the finale for God of War Ascension here. We are on chapter 27 now, and there's 30 chapters in the game total, so we're very close to the end. Pretty much everything happens here that leads up to the final moments. It'll jump back to the present day once we get out of this place. So we're getting very close to the end. We basically just got done rebuilding the entire statue of Apollo. Now we just gotta solve the chamber in here to get the eyes that are supposed to help us break the illusions that Kratos has been seeing. So that's kind of where we are at story-wise. We only have 2 more extra collectible chests, and then we also have 1 more artifact that we'll be getting in chapter 28. I think the chests are technically in chapter 28 as well. So we're about ready to finish this one up here. It's kind of all that is needed to be said here. The statue rebuilding is a pretty big chunk of this game, so let's just continue.
Not much further now, Spartan. Inside there are the eyes of truth, the very same eyes my mother's ruthlessly pulled from Aletheia. I learned of the plot between my parents to overthrow Olympus. I could not believe Aletheia's words. Then she showed me the truth. That the god of war would bring down the very walls of Olympus. I knew I must stop them. Aletheia and I sought to warn Zeus. But when Ares learned of our attempt, he sent my mothers after us. The eyes were brutally ripped from my beloved. She became a prisoner in her own temple. Ares and my mothers knew that if the eyes of truth were hidden, then their wicked plot would not be revealed. Then soon they would reign over the gods themselves. To keep their plan in motion, they need you back, Spartan. They will stop at nothing until you return to Lord Ares.
Ares will have to find another to do his bidding.
I know he will set things right.
Well, now we just need to find a way to open that, but it's interesting that he was gonna try to tell on Ares for destroying Olympus when in God of War 3, Kratos kind of does something similar to that, so maybe the prophecy was just a little incorrect, and it was actually Kratos that was gonna destroy it. For now, let's just pop these open. We actually have enough for our final upgrade. We actually had enough at the end of the previous part. Let's grab this. So, like I said before, this one doesn't actually have any upgrades, so we do have all of the upgrades in the game now. Gave us enough red orbs for it. I might as well just open these. Alright, let's try to get this solved. Well, that put a little bit of charge into the eyes of truth. before we let this go, we gotta keep it open. Now we can enter the mirror world. As you saw in the cutscene as well, that's where the last 2 extra chests are gonna be. So let's grab these right away. And that'll be every collectible chest that's in the game. So all we have left now is 1 additional artifact, but we won't get that until we get out of here. Here's another note. I actually couldn't even see this one on the floor. Can't do anything with this thing yet. I'm gonna keep these chests alone for now. Alright, simple enough. Just go and grab the eyes. And this is where the biggest series of fighting pretty much happens in the game, and it can actually be kind of tough. Basically, I think the first wave does the most damage to you, and they don't really give you any health. So this part can be a little tricky. If this is the wave with the, this one has Gorgon, but I think Sirens might start showing up. Man, they just attacked me through that. Oh, I'm pressing the wrong button. Stop trying to turn me to stone. Unfortunately, I'm pretty sure there's more. Damn it, I wanted to hit the other one. this the one I hit? This is when it gets really sketchy. Sirens are the ones that do the damage. Oh, are they immune to ice? This is ridiculous. And of course, 2 more sirens spawn. Ooh, that one actually fell off the edge. Alright, see, like, they're the health drainers. Even if you kind of keep them at bay, you still lose a ton of health. That wrong button. That was a waste of magic. That was a waste of magic. I accidentally hit right trigger instead of left. Yeah, that wave is pretty brutal. The sirens do so much damage to you. Glad we got that one off the edge, though. Gonna keep missing her hit. Every time I successfully parry, I get staggered by the other one. Come on. She actually got herself out of the finisher from that. That was insane. She grabbed the harpy to prevent herself from being killed. Stay on this side. Oh, that one actually died. Oh, we can actually throw him off of this edge, okay. Alright, I wasn't sure what actual secondary weapon we had. Every time. I'm always a millisecond too early on that. Too bad the fire can't hurt him. Alright, that wave's done. What do we got now? Oh, there we go. That's gonna heal our health up. Perfect time as well, because now we've got these assholes. Oh shit, stuck. Backbreaker on him. Wait, does that actually always instant kill them? That would actually be kind of nuts. No, okay. I wonder how much damage that actually does to them. They take it easy on the last wave. I think they have centaurs as tougher opponents, but they just really aren't. You can easily parry them. They're very readable. Oh, there we go. We made it back to the top. Before we go back into the normal world, we gotta do some stuff here. Let's pop this open. Oh, we actually had a full refill on magic, too. I didn't even notice that. We could have used some of those powers. That's what I was trying to do. Get that into place. Now we can get our final artifact in the game. You can kind of see it glowing over here. Let's pick this up. Which that will actually be this. The Antikythera mechanism. I think that's how that's pronounced. So that's every collectible in the game now. Now we just have to beat it. Let's go open this door now.
I'm sorry, Sparta. When I learned that my mothers were close, I came to what...
We have special plans for you, my son.
All this effort and you still fail. Come, sisters. We will break him within the walls of Hecatoncheires.
Kratos found himself defeated, and this time no Olympian would come to his aid. Satisfied, the sisters returned home with their prize. Within the walls of their prison, they would delve into the broken warrior's soul and entice Kratos back to his place as a servant of Ares.
Now we're back to present day, so that leads up to the moment he's captured and tortured by the Furies, which is how the game opens up, is him breaking free. So, all that's left now is to confront the Furies. They still have the eyes that can break illusion, though. So our troubles are not exactly over yet. But at least we got that ability back. Kratos, you threw that over the edge, buddy. Damn. All their spinning and flipping always makes me think they're doing an attack. This is good teamwork. Every time they bounce off the wall, it actually messes up my ability to do an air combo. Alright, that takes care of them. Let's get inside of the building.
I have been away far too long.
You can see her in the morning. Come.
In time, you will forget. All that you have lost can be yours once again. If this is what keeps you in service to Lord Ares, then this is what you shall have.
It is not real.
I can be your reality. The hard part is over, Spartan. You have committed the ultimate sacrifice. Offer yourself to us completely, and you shall live in blissful illusion.
Never.
Then let death be your reality! What is the meaning of this? You have made a poor choice, Spartan.
So yeah, that was the only other instance where Kratos turned yellow. But he snatched the eyes back. Let's get to this boss fight now.
A simple trinket will not defeat us, sister!
He's just gonna walk menacingly up to them.
You defy me? You are but a mortal.
You should have taken our offer, Kratos! Now you will pay for that mistake!
I am the queen of the Furies!
Well, now we know what that Kraken monster was. It was her the whole time.
Offer mercy.
Let's see if we can just get rid of these guys.
There is no escape.
I hate when she does that move. And that still hit me.
You bring this on yourself, Spartan. You are not the one Ares had hoped for.
Let's hit the hell out of this tentacle.
You will pay for taking Magira's life!
Damn. Surprised it didn't do more damage to us. Well, that's gonna absorb all the damage. At least that made me avoid the other hits, though. You never know where they're gonna actually land their attack. Alright, let's blow this tentacle up. Yeah, this fight is pretty crazy. A lot of quick time events, though. Not everybody's always a big fan of those. Lock in here. Here's the illusionist. That could have been bad. I rolled right into that. Well, that kicked her out of that form.
Sparta, Oathbreaker. You are not fit to be called a Spartan! I lost everything because of you!
They were not there by chance, Kratos!
You think you want truth, but truth will only bring you pain! My death will not free you from this madness!
I would not have been strong enough to choose your path, Spartan.
Orcos,
I would have taken what my mother's offered.
I would rather live in truth.
I fear you may come to regret those words. Lord Ares still holds your bond.
This cannot be.
Before you killed them, my mother's once again made me your Oathkeeper. For you to be free, I must die by your hand.
I do not understand.
If you do not release me, my father will retain power over you, but even worse, I will live in eternal torture.
I have spilled enough innocent blood.
There is no other way, Spartan. Destroy the Oath. Kill Ares. Have your revenge. I was never the warrior my father wanted me to be. But please, all I ask, give me an honorable death.
With the death of Orcos, the blood oath to Ares was finally broken, and the painful truth rushed back to Kratos' mind. The truth of the murder he committed, the slaughter of his wife and child, the carnage forged from his relentless ambition, surfaced in perfect clarity and became the visions that would haunt him all of his days. Now free of the Furies' madness, but still tortured by the truth of his past, Kratos left the only home he'd ever known and set out to undo all that he had wrought.
there we go. We have beaten God of War Ascension. That is the end of the game. It is a very fun game. Like I said, the changes they made to the combat where the enemies can kind of power through Kratos' attacks more often and can just stagger stun lock you. That was a very odd change. I have a feeling they changed that so that the combat in the multiplayer wasn't so similar to the old ones where you could kind of just decimate your opponents and stuff like that, but still a fun game. Like I said, I think people still consider this one the weakest in the series, and I'd kind of agree. I don't hate this game, though. I do have fun when I play it, but the other ones are just insanely good. But yeah, up next, we're going to be heading to Ghost of Sparta. But yeah, so another thing you might notice with the emulation version, sound effects during the cutscenes become a little desynced. Voices are usually fine for the most part, but like footsteps and other things are a little off. I was going to try to correct that in the editing, but because the voices are fine, I can't really move it around, otherwise the voices would be desynced. I think that's just because it's technically running at a higher frame rate than it would be on PS3, but I do remember on PS3 that there still was a little bit of desync within the audio, so I think it's just like a game thing. The higher FPS just trips it more, essentially. But yeah, that final fight is pretty epic. God of War games like this, the final fights are usually really epic. There's just these massive battles with some really crazy cinematic moments. This was around the time where QuickTime events and cutscenes was extremely popular amongst developers. Nowadays, they're not doing that as much, and if they do, they give you accessibility options to auto-complete the QTEs. I don't mind QuickTime events. I usually don't have that much of a problem with them. I like that the cutscenes are a little bit interactive to some extent, but sometimes you do just want to sit back and watch them without having to like be on edge trying to press a button or anything like that. But it's a pretty much consistent thing throughout the original games. I don't remember... 2018 doesn't do that. You just kind of sit back and watch those. But yeah, still very, very, very fun. A lot of crazy stuff. That one Trial of Archimedes chapter going up that elevator for the 3 waves, the Gorgon and Siren wave is just brutal. The Sirens do so much damage for some reason. But all in all, the game's not really that difficult. I can see on Titan it being a little bit more annoying because of how many times you can get stun locked if you just like mess up one thing. You usually just take hits from like 3 to 4 people in a row because you can't move. You can't even dodge out once you're hit. You're just stuck there. But that was one of the more common complaints with this game. But there we go. That is the first game done in our God of War series run here. Like I mentioned right when the credits started playing, our next game is actually Ghost of Sparta. It's one of the PSP titles. There is a PS3 remaster of it. That's the version we're going to play. I'm going to try to see if we can emulate it so that I can upscale it. I still can't capture any gameplay from my PS3 without like a HDCP bypass, which I don't have right now, so I have to emulate it. Otherwise, we would just probably play the PS3 versions of some of these games. But the emulation's actually marked as fully playable for the remasters, even for God of War 1 and 2 remasters, so those should be perfectly fine. I also mentioned when we get to God of War 3, we're going to play the remastered version. I'm probably going to just boot it up on my PS5. I think it renders in 1080p, but at least it'll be perfectly stable for the most part. Looks like the credits might be ending here. I think it might just kick us... Okay, no, it goes to the actual credits. I think it just kicks you back to the main menu. I'll include any post-credit scenes if they exist, but I don't think this one has one. But yeah, thanks to anybody who joined me on this one. Ascension's a pretty crazy game. I always appreciate it, whether it's when the videos go live or after they go live. And I'll see you in Ghost of Sparta.